Well, hello, hello, and happy Tuesday. Here we are again, coming live, and for the love of dragons, Araya Anra here. I am the Dragon Lady, the guide for working with them, and hopefully if you have questions, you've been sending them to me because this is where I love to answer them. And we are, wow, amazingly at the end of January. I talked about that last week, that we're going to close it out here and move forward into February. We've had a true winter here in my part of the woods in Reno, Nevada, and I know that the country as a whole, it seems globally we're getting a lot of weather, a lot of phenomena, really good amounts of rain and snowfall. We talked about that a little bit a week or two ago. And so as we move into this, I sat this morning and thought, well, what are we going to discuss today? What's really on my heart to share with you guys? And sat, as I always do, and felt like, well, which dragons want to be part of the field? And the Tangerine Pleiadean, which is the master of our sun chakra, our high solar plexus. So if you have a chakra center right between your heart and your solar plexus, out in front of the body, about an inch or two, similar to the high heart, but lower, high solar plexus, I call it, the sun chakra for the dragons. That's that Tangerine energy. And that's about, wow, I didn't even realize, sitting and thinking really, like, what's that one connected to? And it's really about your divine drive, your push forward with, if you take your solar plexus and your will and your desire to push things forward along with the heart, and you merge those, then you've got this beautiful heart-centered push forward of, what is my will? What are my desires? What is in alignment? And that's actually perfectly aligned with the questions I wanted to put forward today, and that is, what are the dragons' real purpose? What are they really doing for us? What is their design? What is their desire to be here for you? And are you living in alignment with that as we move into February? Are you actually living in alignment with what the dragons have been showing you, whether it's for the last 2 weeks because you're new to them, or for the last 20 years and been working with them as I have? What are you doing with that? And so I wanted to just discuss that briefly. And then the other that wanted to come in was the crystal dragon. And these two colors, we've had this sort of crystalline, icy color, real brilliant blue, and the tangerine for a couple weeks now. I've had a lot of weeks of water energy all through December, early January, everything to do with water. And then we started having this gentle flow into this beautiful tangerine, and it's showing me now the alignment into, all right, where are you flowing in your creations and your movement forward in the world from that heart space? And the crystal dragon here, I know it's connected somewhat to all the, at least in my realm, all the snow crystals, all the ice. I've got people reporting ice dragons and snow dragons playing and being around them in lots of different places in the world. I know the southern hemisphere is not experiencing that, but watch for the crystal dragon and how it's affecting. I've got icicles, which is very unusual on my house, some of them quite long, all over, and it's that movement into your true path and purpose, not only coming from the heart, but as we activate into the crystalline field, that starts to become where we align to it, where we align into what is your true full DNA blueprint, the crystalline aspects of it being activated, moving you into a full alignment and remembrance of who you be, what you're here for. And that's really the design of the dragons. The dragons, in coming to work with humanity, yes, they were here from the beginning, and yes, they're here at the completion to move into something different, and they will be passing that off as far as the guardianship of it to the Lyran system. But as they do so, they've been coming in to bring gifts to you. They've been coming to bring in and help you move stuff out, get all the traumas cleared, get all the shadow work cleared, do it very efficaciously, very rapidly. They don't waste time. But as they've started to bring you into alignment and activate your DNA and bring you into greater awarenesses of memory banks, parts of your journey, parts of who you be, how much are you actually taking that into real living within your journey? And I bring that in just because I feel like we're turning a corner here, especially we've talked about the alignment that completes at the end of March, the last 2.25 years being breaking down, laying foundation, clearing all the old, laying the foundations, getting this setting ready for go time. And when we move forward, your individual chart is obviously going to have specifics to that of where you are in your cycles of your journey, but with the overall energies pushing us forward into new growth, new expansion, new awareness, the new earth really coming into its construction phase of creation. What are you being led to do, and what are you either following through on or not following through on with that inspiration, with that internal, okay, I'm feeling a compass, I'm feeling a movement towards desire, heart desire, and do you still have patterns in place that are a little like, I call them glass boxes, that are belief systems or structures that are limiting you because of maybe a way you were raised by your parents, maybe something teachers said to you, a specific belief you have about, well, I'm not capable of doing that, I don't have the resources, or I don't have, whether it's financial resources, or I don't have the management resources, or I don't have the capability in myself to do that. Teams can be brought forward as you keep moving towards that direction. So the big question here today is, all right, things externally, planetarily are starting to align to make this an opportunity. The dragons have been bringing and holding the space for me to get rid of all these constructions around me that say, no, you're limited. No, you can't have that. No, you can't do that. And those are all false beliefs, and they're trying to get you to see that, to break free of it. And as you break free and you see those things, and this is my challenge for you, have you been feeling an inspiration come in and still not acting on it? This is where it's about go time. It's about Tangerine, that sun chakra, that energy push forward. And if you're feeling a lot of energy brewing around that front part of your body, right between the heart and the solar plexus, that's your dragon chakra. It is one of the 9 dragon chakras. The Pleiadians hold them. That is actually meant to activate you into that divine heart action. And if you get the inspirations, can you allow yourself to see, where am I still allowing myself to be limited or to not go for it when I have ideas, thoughts, processes come in that really get me inspired, get me excited? And it doesn't have to be a big project or a change in career. It can be something that you want to do around your house, something that you're inspired to create in the kitchen. And are you making the space and time to do so? Are you saying, yep, I'm going to go ahead and treat myself to those groceries that I need to make that special dish, or to try some vegan recipes, or to try a dehydrating process, or, you know, there's just all kinds of potentials out there. But the dragons want to be sure that you're saying yes to what is coming as inspiration. I had a really beautiful discovery call yesterday. I always love them because a lot of times they're so unexpected, and they take a direction that I never plan on or think is going to go for the day. And this 30-minute call, or 25-minute call, turned into almost an hour. It was a beautiful soul level connection with a woman down in the south of France. And as that was coming in, all of these full body tingles of things being talked about, of, wow, all right, I know that at some point I need to take a sabbatical and get the next book out, because I've had all the information, and this dream space of that coming to fruition, to be able to take that extended time of, oh, actually, yeah, the dragons have been trying to show me for a while, you have all the material, you need to weave it together. Take that time to make that space. And when she said, I think you're supposed to do it over here, because I mentioned a place in France that's very special to me. She happens to live 10 minutes from it. And I thought, isn't that crazy? And then she said, because she's very much a medium as well, I think you're supposed to write it here. And my whole body tingled. And that's the piece coming in of, are we listening to what our energetics, our higher self, our dragon guides and team are trying to show us? And now, what action steps will I take towards manifesting and creating that opportunity so that it can be done? because that has been something brewing and it's been in my field, and you probably have things that have been bouncing around your field, sort of, I call it percolating, where you get a thought or an idea and it's like it's not time for its fruition yet, but it's percolating, it's in your field. I had that with going to Peru for about 15 years. On my bucket list, knew I had to get there at some point, and then literally on a January morning, my guides were like, you need to book it and book it now. Literally that week I had it arranged. And that's the kind of like, all right, when it's time, it's time. And so that really spoke to me yesterday of, whoa, it's really probably time, because the books touch so many more people than an individual class or a workshop or a program. Not that I might not still do those, but there's something about the time now of moving forward with what the dragons want me to move into next on global activation scale, that in order to still have those tools out, absolutely, Vibrant Hearts, thank you for sharing how to walk the walk. That's what we're here to do. And it's interesting that that's what came up as what do the dragons want to discuss today? How do we walk that walk? Are we listening to what they're trying to show us as the insight comes in from our higher self, as we get closer and closer to that core pure alignment with ourselves? And we've been edging closer, and pulling off the blocks and the things that have been keeping us centered over here instead of centered here. And as we get to that and those insights come in, are we actually saying yes? Are we actually doing that? Or are we being lazy and allowing life to take over, distractions to take over? And granted, some of us have 9-to-5 jobs. I don't. Well, different hours, but I don't have to go to someone else's business to work. And that's a valid part of your journey that you've created that may or may not last forever. But outside of that, what inspirations have been coming that you haven't actually taken the action steps forward on? That's the big piece from the dragons today. They are saying, we've been showing you, we've been trying to align you, and as these hits come in, are you willing to take the steps forward? Because as we move into April, and interesting, April's 2 months away. Why are we talking about it now? Well, the dragons want you ready. Think about these pieces as you're getting going forward, and so that come the new energies of April, you're hitting the ground running with idea, action steps, and all the support of the energetic universe going, yeah, it's go time. We're creating the new world now. We are actually in construction phase. This has been your opportunity to get all the tools, all the materials. And what is that? What are the tools and materials for us? They are, really clearly seeing, yep, that's been speaking to me very loudly. I've been feeling that one percolate, and all of a sudden it's in front. All of a sudden it comes in full force, says, it's time for me now. And do we brush it aside again? Do we put it back on the shelf and go, I can't quite do it yet. I've got this big work project. I've got this soccer teams with the kids. I've got this, whatever distractions we have. Look at them and prioritize what is distraction, what is true alignment to you and your soul purpose, and what are you not engaging with that the dragons have been trying to get you to engage with. So I feel like both the tangerine and the crystal are really present with us energetically today, and they have been for about a week and a half, coming in very gently. I feel the tangerine much more prevalent right now, and I'm just going to go into my little guidebook from the Oracle deck, because both of these are in the Oracle deck. All the canvases that I have are from that, and read to you just briefly. The Tangerine Dragon's core qualities are resilience. That's the key word for Tangerine Dragon. It's one of the Pleiadians. So if you have a connection with the Pleiadians, it might speak to you more directly. Resilience, knowing, unshakable, and resilient. Knowing, unshakable. When the dragons act, that's exactly who they be. They are knowing, resilient, and unshakable. That is literally eye on the target. Eye on the target of, yep, this is coming. This is where I'm moving towards. You might not know how it's going to get there. You might not know, wow, this is a big project. This is a big like healing center, and I don't know who's going to build it, or I don't know who's going to remodel it, or I don't know who's going to work there. All those pieces will come, but it's the eye on the ball and holding the vision and actually moving towards it. What is your next action step? And everyone is going to drop in. Every piece that you put together, it's going to come in as, oh, okay, this is the next, this is next, this is next. And not letting ourselves go into overwhelm. I know that I was in overwhelm for a lot of my life, but particularly 5 years ago when I started this and had to do, business license and all these different pieces. Your dragon is changing from green to yellow and red. Beautiful. Yeah, we're all going through a lot of shifts, Deborah, and beautiful that you're aware of it. So the overwhelm piece is a really big lesson to move more into faith. And this is something that my dragons took me through for the last 4.5 to 5 years. But every year was a little more simple or easier for me as they showed me, like, take a step of faith, do this, and know that if everything, like, I was a control A, I love to have my whiteboards and my lists, and this has got to be done, like 100 things on the board, and I'm like, what do I do first? If you're like that, take a deep breath, look at the list and see which one is speaking you the most prominently. Focus on that one. If you get one done in a day or even half done in a day, all right, you're making progress. It will fall together so quickly and easily as you're in alignment, and watch for that with movement forward in projects. When it's in alignment, it's going to flow really easily. If I am meant to go write the book in the south of France, like I did in Glastonbury for the first book, The Dragon Within, when I wrote it in 2007, it came through as inspiration in August. In September, I was on a plane to Glastonbury because I just knew for some reason I had to be there. I was aligned to the Paddington Farm Trust, which was the closest proximity place, I found out later, to sleep close to the dragon ley line itself. And I only aligned it because it was like popped up and it was what I could afford as a B&B over there for 3 to 4 to 5 weeks. Didn't know how long I was going to be staying. And it was perfect. So I had a kitchenette. I could do my own meals. That was the kind of thing, like, I didn't expect or know that that's what would pop in. But as I made the plans and moved forward with it, so 6 weeks and I'm on it. So if that's meant to be again, I know that it's going to align for me and my boys and whatever needs to happen with all my animals and my property and to go and have that time to bring that through. It's a matter of trust and faith. You don't force, but you allow. Allow the gates to open. Allow the dragons to bring it into you. You just have to keep saying yes and actually have it eye on the ball. Where's my focus? Am I distracted over here, or am I eye on the ball, center line with what is really aligned to my heart? That can be as simple as what I want for breakfast. It can be as big as creating a healing center or going to write a book. Eye on the ball. What is my heart inspired by in making that happen? And I will literally tell you, I do not have a consistent pattern even every day in my morning, how it runs, what I eat, what I drink. I love my protein shakes. Sometimes I have it in the morning. Sometimes it's lunch. Sometimes I'm in the mood for granola. Sometimes I'm in the mood for soup. Sometimes I'm in the mood for decaf coffee. Sometimes I'm in the mood for tea. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for anything. And so I let myself actually pay attention to what do I feel like right now, and allow that to lead me through. Am I a master at it yet? It's still a work in progress. We all are, because we've been so misaligned for so long. We've been so away from our true identity, our true genetic blueprint, our divine blueprint. And as we come into alignment with that, that is the true purpose of the dragons, to get us aligned with that and then help us to see that we have to keep saying yes to it. That our patterns and habits are not who we be. And as we keep veering over here and they keep showing us these pieces of ourselves, then we can keep saying yes to that. So full knowing, unshakable, resilient, that's that energy. That's really supportive of moving forward with stuff, right? And let's see what the crystal dragon specifically is: reflection, clarity, confidence, trust in self. Exactly what we were just talking about. Do you have the faith in yourself to take that step forward with clarity and with confidence? Because that's what happens when your crystalline DNA activates with the crystal dragon and you start resonating with that. And I can hear it, the resonance of the crystal field, when you actually hit those chords that the crystalline DNA hold for you. That is your heart song, and it starts vibrating and resonating out through you. And I can hear this incredible toning happening right now in my reading space for all of the tones that just hit. For everybody that's watching right now, I can see a good group of you there listening. Thank you for being here. I love my dragon family. And for those that are going to catch it after, because, you know, a lot of people are doing their stuff right now and they have to watch it on the replay, and that's always fine. But I can feel that resonance kicking. So listen to and feel. It's like literally like a crystal bowl concert with all of these individual heart songs in it. And the note, it's reminiscent to me right now of my experience of sitting with my beehive and how they work in union and community, and they're all buzzing, and it makes this incredible symphony. And if you really tune in, you can hear all the individual notes. You can hear all the individual little bee buzzes, and we're like that. Do you know that I shared this last year when I first became a bee guardian? The bees and the way they work in a hive and community are here to hold the resonance, and why it's becoming such a deeper heart calling for so many people to move into bee guardianship, or become a beekeeper is the official word. I like bee guardian better. Because that is the next phase. The community, the communion, the state of unity that they operate within is what the bandwidth of frequency they're holding for us to accelerate ourselves into and move towards that. So I love that even is coming in as I hear this internal, it's a cacophony, but it's so symphonic. It's so harmonious with all of these heart songs playing. And I love that because that's pulling, I can feel the alignment towards that heart song of each of you just coming into alignment. And you are placed within the larger puzzle of community that is the new earth. And that's super exciting to me. That's why we're all here. That's why we're in community in this, and even talking every week together, or maybe you're listening and I'm doing the talking, but coming to share that harmonic and keep building on it. So take that, allow yourself to keep saying yes. Confidence, trust, faith in self with clarity. That's what the crystal dragon brings. Unshakable knowing with resilience. Put those together. That's an incredible combination. And those are the energies we're in right now. So, super exciting. I'm excited to see. I would love for you guys to post and share either in the comments or maybe as a separate post in the group. What are some of the things that have been inspiring you lately? I'm feeling this big hit of going to the south of France and writing the book. I'm trying to think of what I'm feeling. A really big push to do something more with the bees. Actually physically, like, getting that as an expanded awareness globally. How can I be proactive with that? I do still feel the workshop that we talked about last month, a couple weeks ago, in my field. I'm going to let it percolate and see. I've got it tentatively penciled for the last weekend in February right now, which is like the 25th. Going to see if that holds. I can feel my dogs wanting to go. They're not even they're quiet right now, so it's funny that I'm feeling them. I am looking out a window at a crystal blue sky, and that's pulling me to want to go walk in the fresh crystalline snow. It's probably in the teens here right now. We had single digits last 2 nights. I've actually got some cold water pipes. Hot water was great in the shower today, but there was no cold to mitigate it, so it was rather almost scalding, waiting for that to thaw out. But I'm feeling that inspiration, and so will I say yes to go take the time to take 15, 20, 30 minutes and go out into this winter wonderland and talk to the crystal dragons? go feel that resonance of their energy around me. I encourage you, feel into it right now. What's coming up for you? Is it to walk out of the office and get a breath of fresh air? Is it to walk away from what you're working on right now and get a breath of fresh air? Is it to go get something yummy and warm to drink because it just would be nice to treat yourself to a warm, cozy drink right now, or maybe a beautiful, cold, refreshing drink if you're in the Southern Hemisphere and you're hot and you're just wanting to, for some reason I'm feeling a lot of mint in the group, something pepperminty, peppermint hot chocolate, peppermint tea, iced peppermint tea. I love that in the summer. I don't know. What are you inspired with, and what are you going to say yes to? And not just today, not just in this moment, but every day moving forward. What are you ready to say yes to that you know is coming from heart inspiration? And being really clear, is this coming from my heart, or is this like my old habit kicking in? Is this my sugar cravings kicking in? Is this what's really triggering? And if it's from that heart space, from that high solar plexus, that heart action forward, then take action on it. And see how many times you can do that in a day and how it shifts the day, because that's really why the dragons are here. The dragons have been helping us clear and align more and more and more to that. And now they're saying, just say yes. Come play with me. How many of you have very playful dragons lately? I've gotten a lot of emails or comments in my different groups about it, that are my program groups. They are playful. They're ready to play with you. It's childlike wonder that we return to. And your true self is very playful. Your natural state is joy. So are you in alignment with joy? Because that's what the dragons want. They want you aligned to yourself so you'll come play with them. And a lot of times we feel too many earthly responsibilities. Oh, I got to get the laundry done. I got to cook dinner. I got to clean the house. I got to do the yard. I got to yada, yada, yada. And are we taking the time out to play? Even if it's brief, they applaud that and want you to do it again and again and again, just like your puppies, just like your dogs, your cats. Love on me. Come play with me. They're trying to get your attention to not be quite so serious, to not take everything so heavy. Even if you feel responsibilities, where can you let lightness, airiness, divine design, and desire infiltrate into that heaviness to start breaking it up? Because that's not how we're supposed to be. That's not how we're aligned to live. And say yes. All right. Well, I'm going to say yes to talking to you guys next week. Again, I look forward to seeing you. If you have any questions or things that you did today, post them in the group. Things that you're inspired today and light you up and give you joy and you get a shot of joy, post it into the group so that everybody can share that shot of joy and go, yeah, me too, I did this. So looking forward to hearing those. I'll see you on the other side of the coming weekend. Bye for now. Thanks for being here, everybody. And yeah, look for those discovery calls. As I said, they sometimes turn into wonderment. I added a whole bunch of new ones on the calendar as far as slots, both session and discovery call slots. So if you're needing something, you need that one-on-one support, please reach out. All right. Bye for now, everybody.